All right. Today we're going to work on vulnerability management. We're going to run, sorry, we're going to make some vulnerabilities in our virtual machine, and then we're going to remediate them. We're going to do the scan as well, so that we can see what we did. We can see the vulnerabilities we created, and what we saw after the scan when we remediated the vulnerabilities. So here we go. All right, so first off, we're just going to have provision our Windows 11 machine. But basically, let's go through the the instructions first. We're going to provision our machine. Before we run the scan, we're going to run this piece of code and what we're going to do in PowerShell command, and then we'll run an authenticated scan with the predefined user template or the user-defined template. And then we're going to use the internal scanner. Then we're going to scan first. So we're going to see our first scan. Then we'll make the vulnerabilities, and then we'll scan again. Then we would remediate the vulnerabilities, that's over here, and then we'll restart the VM, and then we'll rescan, and then we'll observe the results. So here we go, let's start. First, let's create our virtual machine. Okay, so in moment, we're gonna choose our student resource group. We're gonna give the virtual machine a name. Then I would call the virtual machine new remed test. We'll choose Windows 11 Pro, and we'll use the same username and password we've been using since. By the way, this is not good practice. You should be switching through your passwords. So, you know, yeah, select this, go to disks, and we will choose the standard SSD. Yep. Then we'll scroll to networking. We'll choose the the cyber range VNet and subnet. Perfect. I think we would. Do we want a public? I don't think we do. We can just do no and then delete and then next. I think we just go to monitoring and then we'll disable diagnostics and then, oops, where is this? Yeah, review and create. Let's create it. So let's see, while it's being created, is there something that we can do in the meantime? All right, let's go to Tenable and then create our authenticator scan. Create a scan. Hold on, I want to check something. Oh, I think I already started something similar. Let's trash it so we don't have a clash in naming. All right, so let's start again. Create a scan. Um, let's see, what kind of scan are we supposed to do first? Okay, a user-defined scan, and we have to find the cyber range Windows 11 disaster. This is it. And we have to give it a name. Let's call it this. Choose the internal scanner and choose the local scan engine. And then tool is created. We can go get our private, our private, yeah, IP address right here. And then our credentials. It's a Windows device, so we'll just choose host Windows, yeah, password. And then we're going to, oops, no, username, and then our password. We're going to save. And we're going to save this. In the meantime, we need to connect via Bastion. This takes forever, so I'll pause it until it's done. Then we'll connect. All right, so we'll come back when we're finally connected. All right, here we are. Okay, so we're gonna first. Oh no, it's frozen again. Okay, run. Let's turn off the firewall. Disable the firewall, and then we'll run this. Let me copy it for now. I will wait for the firewall. In the meantime, I think we should also run PowerShell. Turn off the firewalls. Azure is being slow today, so we may have to be patient. All right, we're done. So now we can run the scan. Where are we? Here we are. Let's close that. And then let's launch. So I'll come back in about 20 minutes when it's done, and then we would create the vulnerabilities. All right, for some reason, the scan is taking forever. And so you can see here, it's been running for 1 hour plus. And so I didn't understand. I thought I was just about to end it. And I just saw on the cyber range that Tenable is having issues. And so that's why we've been slowing down. So this is why we have issues right now. So I'll just have to keep waiting for the scan to finish. So let's see how it goes. All right, so finally we are back, and it took us a while, actually more than a while. It took an hour 22 minutes for a regular scan, which is insane. But we have, oh wow, we have four critical already. This is weird. How do we have four critical? Oh, I see. So these are Windows Microsoft Edge. I think we can solve these by just a Windows update, but we need to add more vulnerabilities to this. So what I would do is I actually need to open Microsoft Edge. Um, might take a while. Start without data, confirm and continue. No. Oh my goodness. All right. In the meantime, let's find this. So we're supposed to get this. Okay, so we'll switch and we will install Firefox. Ah, the virtual machine is a bit slow. Okay, it's working. Oof, come on. Uh, finally. Okay. All right, and we're going to install Firefox. While that installs, I'm going to try and run control panel for the second vulnerability that was supposed to do. So install Firefox. So this is an old version of Firefox, which is has a lot of vulnerabilities. So it's sure to bring up some red flags. And so next we go to, is it programs? I think it's programs. Yeah, turn on Windows and Windows features. Uh, let's see. Okay, so observe that we found the missing. We may have to go back to Tenable. In the meantime, we'll scroll down to SMB. This is it. So our authenticator scan is done. It took longer than usual, but Tenable is down, so I guess that's it. I'll export this right now. So we have something to compare to. But you could see from the first part of what we're supposed to do, we're supposed to observe the missing updates. Windows has out of the box, and then we already saw Edge, Chromium, and stuff. Uh, yeah, I think I'll replace this. Yeah. So we have our first scan. And so, yeah, these are the vulnerabilities that are already coming out of out of the box, and we don't have to create these missing updates and stuff. Cool. Then the next thing is to turn on the SMB stuff, SMB version 1. Where is it? Here. Awesome. Say OK. And then the next thing is install. And we already installed Mozilla. And now we have to refresh the virtual machine, restart the virtual machine actually, and then wait for it to come back up. So let's do this first. Apply changes. Come on. Mm, I think we can restart now. Oops, no. I almost closed the main thing. All right. I think so far so good. Everything else is good. All right, finish. Let's not launch it. We don't need it to launch. What sticks? I have Windows features. This is control panel. So yeah, let's just restart the PC now. And when it reconnects, we'll run the scan again for scan 2, and then we'll see all the vulnerabilities that we left, and then we'll remediate them, and then we'll restart the scan and then see what is left. Cool. So let's do this. Okay. All right. So we're back here. Um, I think I'll just go straight to the scan and we'll run it again. And this time I'll come back after an hour, 30 minutes, probably 2 hours, because I'm assuming it's going to take longer. Um, because the normal scan should have taken about 20 minutes, but if it's taking an hour, 20 minutes, I don't know how long this is going to take. So let's just brace for a very long time and I'll do other stuff. So I'll come back to this when it's done. Okay, so for some reason, the scan actually finished earlier, 24 minutes, and we could see it took out a lot of the vulnerabilities. So I'm not entirely sure um, what happened, but I'm assuming that when I restarted the VM, some Windows updates occurred. So let's check and see if we'll find any Windows updates here. Settings. In the meantime, we could also just see all details and we'll see. Yeah, there are no more criticals. So the Microsoft Edge Chromium. Actually, let's go to history. Let's see. Let's check by plugins. There's Microsoft Edge Chromium, Windows Defender. It looks like a lot of these things have already been remediated through the Windows update. Let's see. SMB stuff possible. But this was before we turned on the SMB stuff, right? Yeah. So we have a lot of info regarding the SMB stuff. Just so I don't really particularly understand what's happening, but let's go back to history and switch to this one. All right. So a lot of them have already been remediated. So if you check Windows updates, We can see update for security platform. We can install them, and yeah. So I should probably have paused the updates, and that would have prevented them from updating themselves. The last check was 12:28. Ah, yeah, so about 2 hours ago, it updated itself. Hmm, that's interesting. Okay, so at this point, you have to wait for these two to install, and then we'll run the scan one more time and see what happened. Okay, okay, so we have to wait for this to install, and we also have to turn off. Actually, we didn't check if we could find the SMB stuff in this new vulnerability. Um, SMB version supported remote check, version 2 and 3, version 1 enabled. Uncredentialed check. How is that uncredentialed check? Did we put in the wrong credentials? I don't think so. I mean, we didn't switch the credentials, we just ran the test, so I'm not sure what happened. But okay, let's preview and install this. Uh, or not, I should have just restarted. But it's a project and a learning, it's something we're supposed to learn from, so I'll just leave it running and see how far we go with this. And now I'll also turn off the SMB stuff. But wait, we didn't see any. No. So I do think there's a problem with the scan, so I should probably run it again because we didn't see any Firefox. Yeah, we didn't see any Firefox. That's weird. We didn't see any Firefox problems or vulnerabilities. So I'm going to run the scan again and we will try because something is definitely wrong somewhere. Apart from the updates, Firefox should have reared its ugly head. So I will rerun the scan. In the meantime, I'll just export this. And I'll call it scan 2. I shouldn't have started downloading this because I don't know how big it is. Alright, we'll just wait and then we'll run the scan again. Alright, so I ran the updates and then I'm going to start the scan again. Hopefully this time it works. and it's authenticated. Or should I maybe no? I think the it's still the same. Yeah, still the same. Credentials, no. I mean, because these are correct. So let's just go back. All right, so we're gonna come back when this scan is done, and we'll know if this should replace the second scan or what we should do next. Okay, so the scan is finally complete, and you can see here this time it took an hour 21 minutes again, and 45 criticals were noticed, and 10 highs, 7 mediums, and you can see most of them came from Mozilla Firefox. The SMB logs are here again this time, and this time we have a lot more logs as compared to the second scan. Right, so if we check history, we would see that we have 3 scans, 4 minutes. So I'm not sure what happened here. Maybe the credentials didn't work. Maybe because we didn't fire up Firefox. Maybe because of the updates, it took away a lot of the other vulnerabilities. Let's see if the Chrome vulnerability is here. Yeah, so the Chrome vulnerability is no longer here, which means that the update took care of that as well. And let's see. So everything here is from Mozilla Firefox. Let's search SMB. So this is everything SMB. I don't particularly know what it is, but I do think it's probably a vulnerability, an old vulnerability that has been patched, and probably over here it has been it's one of the risks that have been accepted, or I don't particularly know. I don't want to guess, but it does show here that server enabled, right? SMB version enabled, and so probably in our previous scan it didn't really show, so we don't know what's happening. So yeah, now we go back here and remediate the vulnerabilities. First we will go to control panel again. Come on. Oh, come on, man. Yep. Anyway, let's come back to scans. Oh, oops, we're supposed to, let's export this. And nice. So let's call this scan 3. Awesome. And then let's open control panel here. Let's go to programs. Let's turn off this feature first. First, we turn off the SMB features. Yep. Okay. And then the next thing we do is uninstall a program. Let's uninstall Firefox. And then let's uninstall this as well. Okay. I have to just wait. In the meantime, let's check settings if there are any more Windows updates. Oh, hold on. All right. Refresh. I didn't ask for refresh. I asked to uninstall. Okay, cool. Let's uninstall it. So there's this update. We could update it, but it's going to take forever, and I don't want to. And then let's maybe delete the maintenance service as well. Okay, let's refresh this. So these are the two vulnerabilities that we created. Run the Windows updates, disable Internet Explorer. And I think Microsoft Internet Explorer. Oh yeah. What was this? Oh, Chromium. Okay, okay, okay. Microsoft Edge. That's probably like Internet Explorer. Um, so we didn't disable it, so we don't have an issue with that. And now that we've uninstalled everything, let's run the scan again. Or do we have to restart let's see. Restart the VN and then rescan. Okay. So now that we're done with these two, oops, let's do control panel again. Okay, let's do that again. Oh, this is my main control panel. Okay, okay, let's close this. All right, let's go to programs. Let's turn all off, and then let's go back to SMB and see. Okay, it's already off. So let's just restart directly from here. Let's restart it. Okay, now we just have to sit and wait. All right, so it's restarting. Awesome. Let's give it a minute. Let's open settings, and now we can launch this again. Let's see if everything has been remediated. Didn't touch the updates. Let's check apps. If on this next one we see the Edge Chromium, Microsoft Edge Chromium thing, I think I could just come down here and look for where is it? Yeah, Microsoft Edge, and I'll update it from here. Or yeah, do modify. As I did it the last time, and it worked uh, as a remediation. So right now we're just gonna have to sit and wait another however long it takes for the next one. In the meantime, what we could do is we can go through 1 second. Let's do 1, 2, 3. Perfect. So we can look at what is scanning? What should we scan to? All right, so scan one, we can see we had 4 vulnerabilities. We should be able to do it side by side, shouldn't we? All right. I don't remember how it works, but I think like this. Okay, great, great, great. And I think can we add a third one to it? Nope. I'm not trying to create a group. Yeah, let's undo that. I don't know if it will fit in there somehow. Okay, it doesn't look like it will fit. So maybe I'll replace it. But then let's see. This is scan two, and we don't know what happened in scan two. I'm assuming because when we did the Mozilla Firefox, we never run it, so we could never tell. But then from here, we realized that we couldn't find the Microsoft Edge vulnerabilities anymore. So I'm assuming when we restarted, it disappeared. And I know I didn't do any. I mean, when we restarted, we didn't pause Windows updates, so we could see all the Windows updates as well showing. No, you can't really see them showing, but you could tell that Windows updates run because we don't see security outlook for Windows anymore. We don't see Microsoft Windows Notepad anymore. We don't see Teams anymore. Do we? No, we don't. So all these have been remediated. Now, if we check three, you see we have 45 criticals, and we probably would have had more if we had um, run it without, if we had paused the Microsoft stuff. But here again, you can see the teams came back here, which is surprising, but not unexpected. So let's see. Let me see if we find any Microsoft Edge, Chrome, thing. We don't see that. Do we see? And we see Teams for desktop. That's also another vulnerability that's still here. Interesting, and it's high as well. So I don't know what's happening with that. Windows, yada yada. Security updates are back again. Interesting. So maybe I should have run the updates. I'm not sure how this scan is gonna go because as you can see, I do have a Windows update left here that I haven't touched, and I don't want to do it right now because I don't know what's gonna happen. Plus, it takes a long time to update, so I'm just gonna wait on these results, however long it takes, and then um, we're going to compare notes again and see what else. Let's see. Microsoft SMB shares enumeration. Um, SMB service detected. Enumerate paths. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So that's it. That's our results back to back. And now we've uninstalled this. So hopefully in scan four, we see a major difference. So we'll come back when we have more info. 4 minutes down, an hour plus more to go. So the scan just completed, and now we can see that it took that 7 minutes this time, and we have four medium, so it's back to normal. Yeah. So that's what this has scanned for. I don't know why it's taking so long. Okay. All this scan for. I don't know why it's taking so long. Alright, let's just log in from here.
All right, awesome. So it took us 4 scans um to know what's going on. Oh, I see. The virtual machine went off. That's why it's taking so long to connect. All right. Well, we don't even need to start it. We could just end it because the lab ends here. 1 second. Awesome. So we just did all this. We restarted the VM and then we rerun the scan and we observed the results of the remediation attempt. And yeah, now it's time to compare this scan for. So where's scan one, scan three? I think it's just do this in here. Okay, perfect. So scan three versus scan four. What is happening here? All right, so scan three, we had all the criticals, and then now scan four, you can see that the criticals are zero, the highs are zero, the mediums are four, and the lows are one, just like the very first scan. Yeah, just like scan one. Hold on. Ah, okay, even less than scan one, because scan one we had four criticals and five highs, and then these were remediated from the restart as well. Yeah, these were remediated from restart. And so we could see that in scan two, I think something happened and it didn't authenticate well or something. But then after restarting, the Windows update took care of the Microsoft Edge vulnerabilities that we see here in the security updates. So when we check scan three, which was the properly done, we found the Mozilla Firefox vulnerabilities. There were still some Microsoft Windows security vulnerabilities as well. And then these ones, Microsoft Teams as well was there. And finally, in scan 4, we could see everything has been remediated again and it's back to normal relatively. So our work here is done. And we might as well just end the session here. All right. Now it's time to delete everything and make sure that we don't have any issues. Let's see. Now let's refresh this. All right, everything has been deleted.